Hello, and welcome to the review video for the Hikvision DS-2CD2055FWD-I. The 2055 is a 5MP mini bullet camera with IR LEDs. This model we tested was the 6mm focal length option. So let's start with a basic scenario that almost every IP camera would come across in its day-to-day recording, that being a bright early morning scene. As you can see, the camera's 5MP sensor handles the brightness impressively without oversaturating any part of the scene or losing any detail in the darker parts of the scene. Next, we come to a midday scene, which at first glance is just as detailed and clear as the previous scene, but there are some improvements when compared to the 3MP mini bullet. As you can see from the grass, there is slightly better colour rendition in the 5MP scene, as well as better reproduction of the finer details in the scene, like leaves and branches. Now we come to a late afternoon scene with a lot more shadow and dark elements to deal with, but it handles them pretty well with only a small loss of clarity for the finer details of the scene. It does struggle a bit with the last few patches of bright sun as it adjusts its sensitivity to cope with the shadow better, but this doesn't really affect the scene greatly as the person is still clearly identifiable. Next we come to an early evening scene in which the camera performs solidly across the whole scene, although the colour rendition is a little underwhelming in places. But this is cancelled out by the camera's impressive image detail and clarity that barely misses a step right up to the shed doors, which are almost 40 meters away. Now we come to the most important part of this test, and the element of this camera's performance that probably lets it down the most, the IR night vision. But from the camera's performance just after the switch to night vision, you're probably wondering why I say it's that bad. Well, just wait until we hit late evening. As you can see, it's an incredibly underwhelming performance with clarity and distance hugely reduced and noise covering the scene. It is especially poor when compared to the 3MP mini bullet, which has much better fidelity. As you can see when you compare the cat in both scenes, you wouldn't even know they were the same cat, the difference is so striking. But if you're installing the camera in a well-lit outdoor space, then this poor IR performance is not too big of an issue. Now, as the camera switches back to colour, we have to wrap up our final notes on this camera, and I think it's simple enough to say that it performed incredibly well in the daylight and was only let down by a poor IR performance. So, if you already have the floodlights to support the 2055, then it would work well, but if you're starting from scratch, then our advice is to stick with the 2035. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for more reviews and helpful videos about everything IP. Don't forget to check out the full review and other camera reviews via the tab above this video or by clicking the box on the left of your screen now. If you're interested in buying the camera, then click the box on the right of this video, which will take you to the Use IP webshop. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.